You guys got a minute.
Thanks.
Ten. 5. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome all to beautiful Tasker Arena on the campus of Hobbs High School. With me is my right-hand man, Ty Friend, and we have holiday basketball action here coming from the holiday tournament, and our girls are facing Pebble Hills in a non-district tournament matchup here, and it's a pretty good Pebble Hills team. They're 11-5 on the season, Ty.
Yeah, of course, a couple El Paso schools in the tournament. Lady Eagles didn't get to play last year because of COVID, but it's back on the schedule. The second year of the girls' side of the tournament, the 62nd year of the Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament in general with the guys. So definitely that's pretty exciting. And all the games on Monday and Tuesday will be here at Tasker. They'll start splitting some off to the freshman school on Wednesday. But so everybody's in the spotlight for these first 2 days.
Absolutely, and it's a wonderful venue, and you have a lot of fans here. Taskerovich band playing, and it's going to be a great night of basketball for sure.
And, of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles, a little bit of a different situation that they were expecting at this point of the season. Wisdom Anthony out with an ACL. She's getting surgery on that. She will not play this season. So that was kind of a big blow for the Lady Eagles squad, averaging double digits, of course, and a very good part of their transition game, et cetera, shooting the basketball, too. So the Eagles have had to kind of stack it back up, get their people ready to play because this season isn't over. They haven't even started district yet and still have a over 500 record.
And, they've gotten past that adjustment period at this point. They actually lost 4 games in a row right after they lost Wisdom and then turned around and won 6 of their last 7. And they've really come on. They're playing as a team. They're moving the ball a lot better, and they're not relying on one person. It's an attack where you just don't know who's going to be the leading scorer on any given night.
And last Tuesday, of course, blew out Lubbock Trinity Christian 65-38 here at Tasker. Brent Hargrove lighting it up for the Lady Eagles with 20 points in that game. A double-double for Anaya Joseph, 10 points, 11 rebounds, even 3 steals on defense. And that's the type of kid that you need in the paint to help you out. Of course, when your top scorer goes down, as we already mentioned, other people have to pick up the slack. She's one of those. You had some other people helping out. Brett Clay had 8 points. Nakia Mojica with 8. And 3 girls getting 5 rebounds apiece. Alani Clay, Brett Clay, and the Cunningham girl who's just a freshman. So lots of different players. And we're talking a lot of youngsters on this squad, Coach.
And one thing that I like is I love to see when they bring the 3 posts to the floor. And when you see Jayla David and Kendall Cunningham and Nia Joseph all on the floor, not many teams can match up with that kind of height all the way around. And a couple of times that I've seen them run it both against Lubbock and Centennial, it looked really good.
And yeah, really got some point production too on that game on Tuesday against Trinity Christian. 20 points in the first quarter, 20-6, and then the third quarter, 21-9. You clip 20 points a quarter, that's pretty good numbers in the 80s by the time you're said and done.
Absolutely, and it shows that they can actually do it a number of ways, but they were never really relying upon one person. And I really feeling good about this team at this point of the season.
Even more exciting, Coach, the 10 3-pointers they converted in that ball game, too. Hargrove had 4 herself, also 3 steals. Carolina Size coming off the bench for 2 3-pointers. Erilyn Hall had 2. She's a leading 3-point shooter on this team. Last couple of seasons, Hobbs has not been tremendous at the 3-point line, but they have rebounders now that can clean up if they do miss them.
Absolutely, and there's nothing like having somebody that can get up there with the Windex and clear the glass for you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them, and they're going to have to do some blocking out against this Pebble Hills team. And I said we have a little bet going on here. The first time one of us says Pebble Beach, we owe each other some money, right?
There you go. I believe it's a Coke or in your
case.
But
you're from El Paso, though, so you have no excuses in this one.
No, I do not. I'm very aware of who Pebble Hills is and where they're located, so that should be fairly easy for me.
We should mention, too, they've played 3 New Mexico schools so far. Lost to Oregon Mountain, the Las Cruces team, 59-57 in overtime. beat Artesia by 50, 75-25, and then beat Carlsbad recently, 63-48. So double-digit wins in 2 of those ball games, and really the big score for them, one of them is Kiana Valdez. She had 21 against Oregon Mountain. Jordan Sapien, who's a freshman for them, had 12 against Oregon Mountain. Their senior who really does some damage offensively is Victoria Aguayo, 14 points against Artesia, and she's usually one of their top scorers game after game. She beat Socorro 54-29. She got 22 in that game, 11 rebounds, a double-double. So they got to guard Victoria Aguayo, and in fact, she's their best scorer, but they also got that freshman are mentioning too.
Yeah, Aguayo is one of those players that can do a little bit of everything. Looks like they've got the national anthem coming. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with live action from Tasker Arena, the Hobbs Lady Eagles and the Pebble Hills
Spartans.
Spartans, there we go. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're clear.
2 minutes, please.
One minute. $30. 15.
Add another 30, please.
Okay. $30. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. Hobbs Lady Eagles and the Pebble Hills Lady Spartans getting ready to lock horns here. Ty Friend, both teams are coming in looking to better their season. I think this is going to be a good matchup. You got a Pebble Hills team that's 11-6, the Hobbs team that comes in 7-5, but have really been strong as of late. It's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, it definitely will be. And, of course, we mentioned there will be some freshmen playing on both rosters in this game. Starters for Pebble Hills. She's the top scorer on the season for them, Victoria Aguayo. Definitely got to be watching out for her defensively for the Lady Eagles, averaging 16.3 a ball game. She is the point guard for this Spartans team. Larissa Washington, another guard for them, a senior, 5'3". She's averaging 7.9 points a contest. Caitlin Calderon, one of their forwards on the squad, she's another senior. So 3 of their starters are seniors. Definitely going to be an asset as well, as Calderon averaging 9.3 a game. Jordan Sapien, the lone freshman to start in this game, and she's had a couple of double-digit scoring efforts here in the last couple of weeks. And finally, last but not least, Kiana Valdez. She's going to be the shooting guard for them, a junior at 5'7". So she's got some size on this team. Caitlin Calderon, 5'8", and Valdez at 5'7". By the way, Coach, this is the first year Pebble Hills has been at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament.
Oh, wow. It's not a long trip from El Paso to here, so El Paso ISD and Socorro ISD likes to come to Hobbs, and they like to play New Mexico teams because they're closer than a lot of the Texas teams in many aspects.
I think they get tired of playing themselves in that El Paso Beltway. I mean, there's so many squads to play all different divisions that you just sit there and kind of get tired of it after a while.
You got 24 high schools in one town, you can get your fill of your schedule there, but it doesn't tell you how you match up against people other than what you've seen in El Paso. And El Paso's done a real good job of getting better at that over the years. They used to not do that as much.
Looking at the Hobbs Lady Eagles starters tonight, including Erilyn Hall, the point guard, 5'5" senior. Hall's averaging 3.2 points a contest and one of the best three-point shooters on this ball club. Brett Clay, she's the shooting guard, just a freshman. She's got quite a few seasons left, averaging 7.6 points a contest, so definitely someone to be looking to. Also has the best three-point shooting percentage on the team. She makes 1 out of 3 that she puts up at 33%. Bryn Hargrove, we mentioned her with that big game on Lubbock Trinity on Tuesday with that victory there, 20+. She's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. She is the point guard freshman. Kendall Cunningham, a transfer coming into the program, a freshman for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. She's going to be a crasher, 6 foot. She's definitely going to help out underneath, 5.8 points a game and 5.5 rebounds a contest as well. And let's not forget about the big girl, Anaya Joseph, the center, 5'9" sophomore. Joseph averaging 12 points and close to 12 rebounds a game, a double-double. They're definitely going to have her crashing in this one.
I think this is a game where size is going to matter. When the tallest person on Pebble Hills is 5'8", and we've got 3 people taller than that in the starting lineup. I think that's going to bode well for the Lady Eagles.
Should mention you can't overlook that freshman, Jordan Sapien. She had 14 against Carlsbad, and they beat them by 15 points. Of course, the Cave Girls in the Hobbs Lady Eagles district.
And Sapien will be the smallest player on the court, too. I mean, she's probably, if I had to guess, just probably 5 foot even. She is the smallest girl by far on that court.
They got kind of that burnt orange Longhorn look down there for Texas there for Pebble Hills.
They do. Hobbs, of course, in their home whites with the black numeral outline around the white inlay. Ready for action here is Anaya Joseph's getting set to jump against Caitlin Calderon. Joseph wins it. They're going to go backdoor to Clay right off the bat, and Clay's going to go up and has the first basket of the night. It's 2-0 Lady Eagles just like that.
2-2-1 trap pressure defense for the Lady Eagles defense now.
Here's Sapien across the timeline. She's going to do the point guard duties here for the Lady Spartans. Sapien is going to be checked by Hargrove. Comes over near side. They're going to come around in the corner to Valdez. Valdez dribbles into the trap. She's going to kick it out to Sapien, right side. In the corner to Arguello. Arguello from the corner. Picks up her dribble, loses it. They look a little bit confused right now. Right side, long 3 by Washington. No good. Rebounds up. Arguello comes up with it, but it's going to be stolen away. That's going to call it a jump ball as Joseph takes it from her two-handed.
This is the smallest guard tandem I've seen the Lady Eagles having to face in the last couple of years. But, of course, we mentioned one of them scoring in double digits this season, so definitely a good one, Sapien.
Inbound, right side, Sapien. Left-handed dribble comes to the top of the key. Sapien backs it out, starts the offense. Sapien heads it to the post, and they're going to kick it out to the right side. Here's Arguello. Arguello, crossover dribble, is looking for Calderon, not there, stolen away. Here's Hargrove, left side. Hargrove, long jumper, 18-footer off the back of the rim. Joseph's there, going to knock it around. Hargrove will end up with the rebound. Hargrove has it stolen away by Sapien. It's loose on the floor. There's a scrum for it, and Spartans come up with it. Left side, here comes Valdez. Valdez, long jumper, no good off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Arguello, and a foul on the play as Hargrove gets into her.
Yeah, nobody's blocking out Arguello. Already 2 rebounds, the only 2 boards that Pebble Hills has gotten so far, so somebody's got to put a butt in her.
Here's the inbound underneath the attacking basket. Kick it out to Sapien. Sapien at the 8 starts the offense. Left side, long 3. This one's no good by Washington, and they're going to quickly come back up court on the fast break. Right side, Hall. Hall, top of the key, Clay. Clay's going to dribble, kicks it to Hall. Hall looks for 3, doesn't want it. She has Cunningham. Cunningham in the post. She's going to spin, go over Washington. Ain't nobody going to stop her. Washington was absolutely outmanned on that one.
Line shot, though, on a helicopter spin from that right block, Coach.
Here it comes, Arguello, right side. Arguello loses it. They're on the floor scrumming for it. Sapien picks it up. Kicks it to Valdez. Left side, scoop shot. No good, but there's a foul, and they will shoot free throws.
Boy, she tried to go right through 2 defenders for the Lady Eagles, Anaya Joseph and also Cunningham stepping off in that left block that time. And they tried to get straight up, but the guard went right through them, head down, and they got the body foul.
That puts Calderon at the line to shoot 2. Calderon spins it up to the right hand, fires, and it is no good.
That was the foul on Cunningham, by the way, her second team foul against the Lady Eagles.
4-0 score here early, 6:04 on the clock, first quarter. Calderon's second opportunity at the charity stripe. Quick dribbles, takes it to the right hand, fires, and misses a second one. It's going to be rebounded by Hall. Hall's going to back it out, hands it over to Caroline Saez, who just checked into the game. Saez, left side, Clay. Clay from a triple threat finds David, back top of the key to Saez. Saez goes to Joseph. Joseph spins, working underneath. Joseph, short jumper, no good. Rebounded underneath by, looks like Brett Clay. She gets another rebound on her own miss. Kicks it out to Saez. Saez whips it around to Joseph. It's going to be thrown away. Here's Pebble Hills on the break. And from behind, Brett Clay runs down Arguello and knocks it out of bounds.
He had some good rebounding on the offensive glass there by Brett Clay at the other end. She's got 3 of the 5 boards so far for the Lady Eagles.
Inbounding underneath the attacking basket, here's Pebble Hills. Gets a pick underneath, trying to get open. They're going to have to kick it out to Sapien, top of the key. Sapien working against the zone. She's going to drive in the middle of the zone, makes a nice head fake, gets an open shot, middle of the zone, misses it. Rebounded by Joseph, who kicks it out and off to the running. Saez looking back for Joseph. Joseph in the post, kicks it out. Here's Hall. Hall looking for some help. Right side, Brett Clay. Clay's going to drive, goes underneath, throws up an air ball, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds, but Hobbs will retain possession.
Boy, I love the first step of Brett Clay. She goes baseline, she puts her head down, goes hard, doesn't wait, and she's going to draw some fouls if she keeps doing that.
Absolutely. Inbound's going to be stolen away. Off and running is Crystal Talavera, who's entered the game. Talavera goes to Calderon. Calderon with the left hand. She's going to be fouled. And this one's going to go against, looks like Jayla David, her first personal, and that'll be the third team foul.
Now this Pebble Hills team is going to run on the transition. Hobbs has got to get back quicker. And we mentioned those guards. They're very quick up front, and they like to zigzag through the paint, so Hobbs has got to get some bodies up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very impressed with Sapien's ball handling ability breaking down the zone. Free throw up this time for Calderon. She makes her first, making the score 4-1. 3-point lead here for the Lady Eagles early in the first.
Calderon came into this game shooting 56% from the charity stripe. The team for Pebble Hills at 62%. And right now 1 for 3 for Calderon.
Here's Calderon's second opportunity, and it's up and good also. 2-point lead for the Lady Eagles working against the Pebble Hills press. Here's Saez. Saez checked by Sapien. She goes to David. It's going to be stolen away. Calderon, right side. Calavera, she kicks it out. Sapien, top of the key. Long three for Sapien. She's got it. And Pebble Hills has a 5-4 lead.
Hobbs not helping themselves with 4 turnovers so far here in the first quarter.
Here comes Hall working against the double team on the press. She's going to dribble right into it, and that'll end up being a jump ball as they tie her up.
Hobbs will get the possession arrow, thankfully, but she came right into that pressure at the half-court line there, and 3 defenders just came pouncing on her. No help from her teammates.
Hargrove comes in, and now have Caroline Saez take a seat. Here's Hall across the timeline to get the offense started. Now in a man-to-man is Pebble Hills. Clay, top of the key, David. David, left side, Hall. Hall looking for Joseph. Joseph goes down and runs into Arguello and spins around, throws up a jump shot, rebounded by Pebble Hills. Off and running, here they come. Sapien. Across the timeline with the right hand. She's being checked by Hall. Sapien has it whipped around. Hall steals it from behind, and Hall brings it up the court. Right side, it goes to Hargrove. Hargrove's going to set up the offense around a pick by Hall. It goes to Cunningham. Cunningham's going to drive, cut, shoot, off the glass, no good. And it'll go off of Pebble Hills as Kiana Valdez reached for it but couldn't quite snag it in.
Looks like some subs will be checking in for Coach Lee as he gets some fresh blood out on the court, seeing their first action. Actually, Victoria Guayo returns, one of the seniors, and also on the court now, Jordan Sapien, that freshman back.
Here's the inbounds near side. It's going to go to Hargrove, working right wing. Hargrove now top of the key with a left-handed dribble. Sapien tries to steal it from behind. She's double-teamed, in trouble. They're going to get a foul there as they shove her to the ground. And that'll be the first foul against Pebble Hills.
Yeah, boy, some tenacious defense being played that time. A couple of girls in on the action. Crystal Talavera and now you tell me how you pronounce it. It's spelled A-B-C-D-E, but you said that there's a way to pronounce that properly, right?
Absidi Guerrero.
There we go. You're from El Paso. You know better than I do.
I've seen that before, actually, as a meme somewhere that somebody did. Here's the attacking right zone. Here's Hargrove. She's going to be triple teamed, but she punches it out to Clay. Clay finds Hall. Hall, right side three, no good. Ball's up, and it's going to be rebounded by Absidi Guerrero.
You're going to have your tongue cut out on this one.
Larissa Washington's going to kick it to Arguello. Arguello goes up with the right-handed scoop, and she's got it. Arguello gives them a 7-4 lead, now working against the pressure. Hobbs having trouble with the press. Stolen away by Calderon.
5 turnovers, Coach, and that's not looking good for the Lady Eagles. A 7-4 run here. 7 unanswered points for this Pebble Hills team.
Right side, here's Aguayo, and Aguayo's going to get fouled from behind. I think this may go against Hall. Let's see.
It's definitely a push in the back regardless, and looks like they will charge Erilyn Hall with her first. Already the 14th foul, 4-1 foul count in favor of Pebble Hills right now.
Nakia Mojica's entered the game here, and Abinaya Joseph has returned. Top of the key, Aguayo. Right side, Pebble Hills attacking. They're going to kick it out to Guerrero. Guerrero into the corner, long three from Bunton, no good. Rebounded by Brett Clay. Here's Hargrove, and Hargrove's going to quickly come up the court. Mojica backdoors, Cunningham, long jumper. Cunningham's got it. Freshman cuts the lead to 1. It's 7-6.
Yeah, she's got 4 of the 6 Lady Eagles points so far here in the first quarter.
Across the timeline, here comes the trap. Stolen away, Mojica. Mojica right side, Hargrove. Hargrove's going to scoop it up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Clay. She's up and in, and she's fouled. A chance for a three-point play, and the Lady Eagles have the lead.
That girl's not going to give up on the glass. She's got 5 of the 8 Lady Eagle rebounds, now 4 points, and she's really getting off the floor and making an effort to go to that glass to clean up for the Lady Eagles.
Substitution here as number 40, Olivia White, comes in, and Absidi Guerrero will have a seat. Clay at the line trying to finish off a three-point play.
Nevaeh Bunton getting the foul. That's the second against the Spartans.
That one's going to bounce around but go in. It's 9-7 Lady Eagles. Working against the Hobbs press. Here comes Sapien. Sapien being checked by Mojica. Sapien spins around Mojica. She's broken the press herself. Kicks it up, throws it to number 40, White. White tries to shoot a jumper immediately, and she's fouled. A lot of fouls here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, Bryn Hargrove and Anaya Joseph, kind of the bookends there at the free throw line, kind of bodying her up in a sandwich that time. Hargrove's going to get the body foul. That's her second 5 team fouls on the Lady Eagles.
And Hargrove is the one that's been looking comfortable breaking the press.
So Olivia White gets off the bench and gets that first free throw to drop through. That was actually her first free throw of the season right there.
9-8 your score. Pebble Hills with a chance to tie it.
By the way, White is another freshman for the Spartan squad.
Second shot's up, no good, but rebounded by Arguello. Arguello's going to have it tied up by Cunningham. That'll be a jump ball, but that'll go in favor of Pebble Hills.
Yeah, she wasn't liking the call. She threw her hands up in the air as the Lady Eagle comes down and gets the tie-up, so that she's not very happy about that one.
Here's Bunton to inbound underneath the attacking basket. Goes top of the key. They go back to Bunton in the corner. She's going to drive, kicks it in the middle to White. White's going to float off the rim, controlled by Mojica. Off to the races. Mojica looking for somebody, not there. Right, left side, Clay. Clay's going to drive. Clay dumps it underneath for Joseph. Left-handed layup, and it's good.
This is how the Hobbs Lady Eagles will dominate this game. They keep going penetration and dumping it down to their big posts.
11-8 Hobbs. Here comes Pebble Hills. They're going to try to break the press. Do not do so. They throw it out of bounds. That'll be Lady Eagles basketball.
4 turnover for the Spartans, 5 for the Lady Eagles. So both teams trying to get themselves tracked on offensively, and I'm sure as this game progresses, they'll try to clean up the play a little bit.
Mojica gives it back to Joseph. Joseph to Clay, working against the press. Back to Mojica. They're going to go over to Clay, into the corner. Caroline Saez. Saez, she wants a long three. Off the glass, no good. Joseph gets the rebound, has it touched as she goes up and blocked. Clay gets the rebound, no good. Cunningham gets it back. And they're just going up, basically playing ping pong up there. And finally, Cunningham gets fouled.
Boy, Hobbs out rebounding Pebble Hills 12-5 here in the first quarter, and a lot of second and third efforts on the offensive glass.
Yeah. I tell you that. I think the height's going to make a big difference today as Cunningham misses the first.
Cunningham shooting 58% from the free throw line this season. Unfortunately, with that first miss, that's going to drop her numbers a little bit. And Hobbs would get on that 4-point lead if they can get it here.
Here's the second one, and it's good. It's 12-8.
Cunningham and Clay both with 5 points apiece. Anaya Joseph with 2. Leading scorer for the Spartans is Jordan Sapien, the freshman, with 3, and 2 other players with 2 apiece.
Sapien across the timeline. She breaks the press into the attacking zone. She steps out. Hands to Arguello. Arguello spins. Kicks it out to Sapien. Arrow call screaming for a walk from the fans. Nothing doing as a long three-pointer thrown up and missed by Pebble Hills. Sapien just kind of tossed one up there.
Looks like they're going to go back to their bench. Pebble Hills, Clarissa Washington, the point guard, senior point guard, checks back in. And again, not a lot of size on this team, but they're going to run all over the court and make you work.
Yeah, they like that press. They're in a 1-2-2 press here. They've changed press a couple of times. Here's Mojica across to Joseph. Back to Mojica along the wing. She crosses the timeline. Into the corner. Brett Clay, long three. Right hand, no good. Joseph's there. Check that. That's David. David's entered the game. And Jayla David will go up and get fouled. She'll be at the line to shoot 2.
Well, we have so many riches when it comes to post players in the Lady Eagles program. Coach Carpenter, the last few seasons, has been happy to have those people under there, especially when they have 3-point shooters just to tip it back up, and she's dominating underneath now.
First one's up, and it's good.
Hobbs now 3 for 4 for the charity stripe for 75%, and David will get one more as she came into the game shooting at 57% from the charity stripe.
In and out on the second one, but Mojica almost runs down the rebound, but finally Pebble Hill secures it. Here's Sapien. She's going to work against Mojica, crossing the timeline with the right hand. That Sapien can dribble. Mojica knocks her down after she gets beat on the press, and that'll be the 6th team foul against the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, they've got a total of 5 players now with fouls, each of them, so they have to be careful about letting the penetration come for Pebble Hills. Joseph
will sit, and into the game comes number 33, Articelli Torres, for her first action. Sapien, top of the key, working against Mojica. Going to kick it to Arguello. Arguello spins, fires, has it partially blocked off the glass. Torres comes away with it, and they're going to foul Torres from behind as she tries to hit the outlet pass on the break.
Coach, they've already got 8 Lady Eagle players that have at least 1 rebound or more. Brett Clay was 6, Nia Joseph with 2, and everybody else with 1, but that means a lot of people want part of the pie here.
Yeah. Here's the inbound of Mojica working against the press. Now it's a man press. They throw it away. They try to go to Torres, and she can't control it. White walks with it, no call. Now it's a loose ball. Sapien has it. Sapien spins. She's in the middle of the lane, kind of tosses it out to Washington. Washington crossover dribble over to Sapien. She's going to drive. Sapien over Torres with the right hand. No good. Rebounded underneath, and they're going to get into Brett Clay, and Clay gets another rebound.
Boy, she is everywhere. Offensive glass, chasing balls down on the defensive side, too. 7 rebounds for her, 5 points. Top scorer tied with Cunningham at this point, but that's one of those journeymen you like to see out there doing everything for you.
Yeah, she is a spark plug. Cross court to Clay as they're trying to break the press, and they'll do so. Comes across half court, looking for David. Jayla David kicks it out to Mojica. Time's going to expire. Torres throws it up, no good. Into the first, it's 13-8. We'll be back with more action on Eagle 100.5, YouTube.com, and HobbsAmerica.com. You're listening to Lady Eagles basketball.
You're clear.
1 minute, please.
Oh my God. Okay. You have 30. You have 10. You're back in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. 13-8, the Lady Eagles lead the Lady Spartans of Pebble Hills. And I think rebounding's been the key to the game so far. Both teams kind of sloppy back and forth against the press, but rebounding is the difference.
Yeah, 15-6 in favor of Hobbs at this point. 7 for Brett Clay, well ahead of everybody else on the squad at this point, but still doing a great job. 5 points for Clay, 5 for Cunningham. Top scorer for Pebble Hills, Jordan Sapien, the freshman, with 3. Again, those rebounds are really helping the cause.
And the inbound to Clay, and Clay tries to toss it over to Hall. It's off of Hall's head, but she's standing on the line out of bounds. They're going to get her for out of bounds.
Yeah, turnover count now, 7 for Hobbs, just 4 for Pebble Hills.
Here's Washington working against Erin Hall across the timeline. Washington, crossover dribble. She's going to drive underneath. She's got Calderon. Calderon misses the jumper. Rebounded by Kendall Cunningham. Here's Hall across the timeline. Hall being checked by Washington. It goes to Joseph. Joseph looks underneath for Clay. She goes right side to Mojica. Mojica looks for Clay, left side wing. Top of the key to Kendall Cunningham. Cunningham under pressure, goes to Hall. Hall looking for the cutter, not there. Takes one dribble, picks it up. Here's Joseph. Joseph finds Clay. Clay, one dribble, goes out to Cunningham. She's going to drive. Short jumper from Cunningham is good with the right hand, and that is 15-8 Lady Eagles.
Yeah, she kind of faded with her shoulder, with the left shoulder towards the basket, just kind of lofted it up there. Nice touch for her.
Into the corner. Here comes Valdez. Washington skips it over to Arguello. She's going to drive in traffic, kicks it back out to Valdez. Long three, no good air ball. Rebounded by Calderon. Top of the key, Sapien. Sapien's three, no good. Hall has the rebound. Gets run over by Brett Clay trying to get up the court. It's on the floor. It's going to be given ahead to Sapien. She misses the layup. Mojica. Mojica looking for Joseph. Joseph can't control it. Saved by Calderon. Here's Joseph, short jumper, and it's good.
Beautiful follow through from that baseline J for Joseph.
Sapien across the timeline with the left hand getting the offense started. Spins around the back, kicks it over. She's got Washington who takes the three. Washington, no good. Ball's loose, controlled by Joseph. Joseph tries to throw it ahead to Mojica. But check that, that's Hall. Hall gets pushed down right there. They're going to get fouled. That's going to go against Sapien.
Well, she got flattened, too, right on her stomach that time in front of the scores table. Should be pretty easy for the ref to make the call right there as he's right there at the scores table. She's going to have to peel herself off, kind of like Wile E. Coyote on the cartoons.
Yeah, at this point, we're already shooting free throws. Both teams will be shooting 1-1 from here on out. Here's Hall's first opportunity. It's good. She's earned herself the bonus.
Hobbs shot 3 for 5 in the first quarter, now 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. That's the first point of the game for Hall.
Hall back at the line with a 10-point lead. Here's the right hand. It's up and no good. Controlled by Sapien. Sapien's going to take it herself. Check that. That's Washington. Washington loses it as she gets double teamed. Kicks it back to Arguello. Long three. She's going to bank it in off the glass. I don't know if she called that, but she gets three either way. 18-11 your score. Here comes Brett Clay. Clay to Joseph. Joseph, middle of the lane, misses. No good. Cunningham knocks it out to Mojica. Mojica, short jumper. She's got it. 20-11 your score here.
First bucket for Mojica, the sixth player that has scored for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in a 9-point lead.
Working against the press. Here's Sapien. Comes in the middle to Calderon. Back to Washington across the timeline. Into the corner, Valdez. Long three. In and out, no good. Rebound by Arguello is going to be blocked by Joseph. Cunningham gives it to Hall, and they're off to the races. Hall to Mojica, working against the press. Skips it back to Cunningham. Cunningham's going to drive. Cunningham's going to scoop. She's going to get fouled as Cunningham is working against Washington, maybe 5'1".
Yeah, that's definitely a mismatch in terms of size. Of course, Cunningham at 6 foot, just a freshman, though, and has a few more years than the Lady Eagles. Like her body control in the paint, she really takes care of herself when she gets up in the air for a shot.
First free throw's up and no good.
She's 1 for 3 on the charity stripe, has 7 points. They lead the Lady Eagles right now. Brett Clay with 5 and 4 for Joseph. And the leader for Pebble Hills, Victoria Guayo with 5. And she's averaging 16 a game, so Hobbs kind of holding her down at this point.
Cunningham with the second one's good, and it gives the Lady Eagles a 21-11 lead. Sapien skips court over to Arguello. Arguello's driving. Nice little fake by Arguello, then she misses the layup. Clay with the rebound, bounces it to Mojica. Having troubles here, back to Clay. They're going to get it out of the press. Right side Cunningham, they got a 2-on-1. Cunningham back to Joseph, flips it over there. Joseph with the left hand, she's got another off the glass.
I thought Cunningham was going to take one of those sidewinder hook shots or whatever from the base. Instead, a great assist down the paint.
And it got a walk here as Crystal Talavera comes across the timeline, spins around looking for some help, and she's going to shuffle those feet.
5th turnover for the Spartans, still 8 for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. They're starting to cut back on some of those turnovers now.
23-11 your score here. Here comes Mojica, crossover. Mojica gets a pick from Joseph. Looking, goes back door on the give and go to Joseph. Joseph backs it in, hands it out to Clay. Clay, top of the key, in trouble. Crossover dribble, it's loose. Joseph runs it down. Joseph looking for help, has Mojica. Timeout, coach wants to save him. They're having a little bit of a bad possession there, so timeout on the floor. Coach wants to talk it over.
Yeah, I think he's just going to talk about keep penetrating. We already got the free throws in our pocket at this point, a chance to take it to the hoop and to get those foul calls and start making these Pebble Hills girls work a little bit more.
And Pebble Hills already is looking a little bit tired here early on. You know, they were pressing early and had a lot of energy. Now it seems like they're just kind of doing a token press and walking through it.
And still Hobbs continuing to maintain their dominance on the boards, 22-9 here in this second quarter overall.
Wow, that's just a huge difference. And as this game goes on, I can't see it getting any better for Pebble Hills because as you get tired, you stop doing those little things like blocking out.
I was kind of worried in that first quarter, though, Coach. Hobbs was throwing the ball away quite a bit, had quite a few turnovers, but they kind of pared that back a little bit here in the second and got under control offensively.
They did. Back into action after the timeout. Inbounds to Joseph, hands it back to Mojica. Mojica is looking for Joseph, back door. She's going to go up off the glass, and another foul against Pebble Hills. This one's going to go against Calderon.
Again, using her size there, Joseph kind of leans with the shoulder towards that right side of the hoop and get that foul call as she went toe-to-toe with Calderon on that one. That's her first.
And that'll be the 9th team foul, so from here on out in the first half, we'll be shooting 2 after this possession. First one's up and in, 24-11 your score, 13-point lead for the Lady Eagles.
First free throw for Joseph in this ball game.
And, you know, Joseph really has been relatively quiet this game. She's getting passes that are giving her easy passes. She's not actually doing it, you know, how she normally does it, which is off of rebounds. Misses the second one, rebound by Arguello. Here comes Pebble Hills on the counter. Across the timeline to Talavera. Talavera, Sapien, hop steps, kicks it out.
Referees are starting to tighten it up now. Called a hold from behind. Sapien kind of did a hip-hop step there with the dribble and then tried to pass, and they're saying she was pulled from behind by the Lady Eagles on the wrist there. Erilyn Hall gets her second.
And, you know, I think depth is going to play into this as well. Both teams are starting to get in severe foul trouble. Sapien at the line, spins it up to the right hand, fires, and it's good. 24-12 your score here. Lady Eagles doubling up Pebble Hills with 4:10 left in the second.
Spartans 4 for 7 from the charity stripe here in the first half.
Second opportunity for Sapien, fires it up with the right hand, and it's good.
She's got 5 points. Again, just a freshman.
Substitution on the floor, setting up the press, bringing number 21 in. That's the Nevaeh Bunton. She returns to the game, and Arguello goes to the back of the press. Now in a 2-3 zone press. Here's Brett Clay, right side. They break the press easily. Goes to Jayla David. David spins around, finds Clay. Clay, shoulder fake, drives. Comes back out and sets up. Looking for David. David's working for position. Joseph comes to the high post. They're going to dump it underneath to David. David spins, fires, and David was being guarded by Sapien. She's not going to be able to stop that.
She's got 3 points. They're lucky not to get a 3-second lane violation on that one.
Bunton to Calderon. Sapien top of the key. Sapien crossover dribble, kicks it to Arguello. Arguello drives, gets blocked by Joseph. Off and running. Joseph is going to go ahead to Saez. Saez is going to scoop, and she's going to get fouled. More free throws coming for the Lady Eagles.
She did a good job that time of kind of a basket throw at the hoop, put 2 arms underneath their defender's arms that were kind of flat, and they just came up underneath there to get that call. Talavera's first personal.
So Saez steps to the charity stripe shooting 2 here. Lady Eagles up 26-13. She puts the first one in.
That's her first point of the ball game for the Lady Eagles cause. That was her first free throw of the season, so definitely going to help her out a little bit there in the numbers. And Hobbs now with 7 players in the scorebook at this point.
Cunningham returns. Joseph will sit. And here's Saez's second opportunity. It's up and good. 28-13, 15-point Lady Eagle lead here in the second. Right side, Washington comes across the timeline. Washington working against Saez. Skips it left side to Talavera. Into the corner. Long three from Button. No good. Rebounded by Clay. She's got another one. Clay coming up the court. She's taking herself. Looks back door to Saez. Saez finds David. David's going to spin and fire. And David's got another basket.
I love how David kind of spins on you and has her hands straight up in the air, pushes forward with both of them to get some good touch.
Yeah, good height on that as well. Kicks near side. Into the corner, Button. She's going to drive. Button goes to Calderon. Calderon looking to throw it outside to Washington. She's not there. That'll be a turnover.
6 turnovers for Pebble Hill. Still 8 for the Lady Eagles. They kind of put up the stop sign on throwing the ball away, has Hobbs here in the second quarter, and it's showing it on the scoreboard. Their biggest lead now, 17, 30-13.
Here's Saez against the press. Saez skips it over to Clay. Clay looking back door. She's got Cunningham. Doesn't choose to go there. Saez top of the key. Right-handed dribble. Crosses over. Needing help. It's going to go to David. David looks back door for Clay. It's not there. Stolen away by Arguello. Arguello hands it over to Talavera. Talavera across the timeline. Near side Arguello. She's going to drive. Kicks it out to Washington. Washington, long three. No good. Rebound. She gets it back. Actually bounces all the way to her. Right side Button. Button's going to drive. Kicks it out near side Talavera. Talavera for three. No good. Clay with another rebound. Clay against the press. Spins around. She's going to take it herself. Looking for help. Clay being pushed by Button, no call. And then they finally get her there. Button kind of shoves her as she crosses the timeline.
I cannot believe that girl's a freshman. Just her body presence out there, grabbing rebounds, able to drive through traffic. That's her 10th board, Coach. 5 more points, and she's got a double-double.
Yeah, and we've always talked about her being that spark plug. And, you know, last year we talked about her being a Dennis Rodman type, but her shooting has improved so much that we have to upgrade her. You know, she's shooting so well that she misses the first free throw.
Still sitting at 5 points right now. Kendall Cunningham with 8 to lead the Lady Eagles and 7 for Anaya Joseph. And now a timeout on the court.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break too. 30-13 your score. This is the Lady Eagle basketball on Eagle 100.5, YouTube.com, and HobbsAmerica.com.
You're clear.
30, please.
Okay. You have 10. You have 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. 2:03 on the clock here. 30-13. Lady Eagles over Pebble Hills. And Lady Eagles really starting to dominate the second quarter.
Yeah, you continue to lead on the boards. That's definitely going to give you more chances to shoot the basketball in the paint, and they're starting to draw those fouls, too, which adds on with the free throws.
And here's Clay with the second free throw opportunity. Fires it up with the right hand. Bounces around, no good. Rebounded by Calderon. Calderon ahead to Talavera. Talavera across the timeline with the left hand into the corner to Button. Button skips it over. It's going to be stolen away as Clay knocks it into the hands of Saez. Saez across the timeline. Goes to Cunningham. Cunningham backing it in. Cunningham spins, blocked by Calderon, and here's Washington. Washington looks back door, and Clay gets back on defense, disrupts the play, gets the rebound. There's going to be a foul on Pebble Hills as Clay gets another rebound.
That's her 11th now, and again, she's getting everywhere on those blocks, going up strong and then doing the washing machine to get everybody away from her. I think at the other end offensively, Cunningham needs to kind of face the basket a few more times. She's kind of been spinning in traffic and not really seeing the hoop, and that time lost it on the previous play.
Well, I think it's the hoop that she's not seeing. She wasn't seeing the defender coming. The defender ended up getting a pretty good block on her as Clay misses the first.
Yeah, Brett's having some issues on the line right now. 3 or make it 1 of 4 from the charity stripe at 25%, but getting a lot of free throws because she's dominating inside.
Her second opportunity. Steps up, fires it with the right hand. Bounces around, no good. Rebounded by White. White's going to hand near side. And here comes Washington across the timeline working against Mojica. Washington crossover, dribble twice, spins. Tries to kick it to White at the top of the key. Not there. Another turnover for Pebble Hills.
Although Pebble Hills getting some turnovers here in the second quarter, they are looking for the open man. You got to give them credit for that, but that is their 8th turnover now. Again, 9 for Hobbs.
Bringing it into Joseph, middle of the court. Joseph goes to Mojica. They play 2 balls. They come across the timeline. Mojica with a left-handed dribble. Hands it to Saez. Saez has it knocked out of bounds. Lady Eagles will bring it in.
Of course, we already know Tucson will be playing the winner of this game tonight. You had a chance to see them, and in fact, you were past them in the road in Arizona on travel today.
Ran into him at the Whataburger in El Paso on the way home for Christmas vacation. Missed shot by Saez, right side, rebounded by Pebble Hills. They are a tall team, Ty. I was very impressed with their height at the restaurant. Ball goes into White, stolen away by Joseph. Mojica ends up with it. Mojica backdoor to Clay. Clay looking underneath. Goes to Mojica. Mojica goes to Joseph. Joseph spins, fires. A little 8-foot turnaround jumper is good.
That's making 9 points for Nia Joseph. And boy, talk about nice shooting form on that one, using her size as well.
And she hasn't missed very many today. Pebble Hills near side. White is going to shoot at the free throw line. She's got it.
Nobody putting a hand in her face. She had a wide open shot from that left elbow. Now has 3 for the Spartans.
Inbound is going to be knocked out of bounds. 32-15 your score.
That's matching the biggest lead of the game at 17 here in the first half. 22.9 left in the second.
Here's Mojica working against the press. Button comes over to check her. She goes to Joseph. Joseph across the timeline. Joseph going to take a long 17-foot jumper off of glass, but Cunningham's there to erase it. She goes back up and misses. Clay gets it. Clay puts it up and in off the glass. Another rebound for Clay. It's 34-15.
She's working on a double-double, 7 points and 12 rebounds now, Clay.
Last second shot at the buzzer, no good. 34-15 your score as we go to halftime. We'll be back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5, YouTube.com, and HobbsAmerica.com.
You're clear.
3, please.
All right. One minute. $30. $10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, halftime. 34-15 your score. Lady Eagles up on Pebble Hills, and I tell you, it's a game where rebounding's been the big factor, but turnovers started to become a real factor late.
Yeah, it was, first of all, Hobbs had more turnovers in the first quarter, but then it kind of got evened up. And in fact, both teams now at 9 apiece, as we saw a lot more from Pebble Hills in that second quarter. Going back to your original point, Coach, on the rebound zone, major domination there. Hobbs almost doubling up on Pebble Hills, 27-15 on the boards. That's been the trend since the start of the ball game.
Yeah, you know, and you look at that, and I think that's been a big factor. All those second shots, everything else, it's kind of doubled him up on the scoreboard as well.
And that one-man wrecking crew, she's getting some help, though. But Brett Clay, those 12 rebounds, boy, she's cleaning up glass on both ends.
She's on pace to get 24. That's just amazing. For somebody who's not the tallest player on the court, that's just all effort, all heart.
And just 3 points away from a double-double with 7 at this point, so that's definitely going to look good. Let me quickly get your point production here. First of all, for the Spartans, their leading scorer right now, in fact, 2 of them with 5 points, Victoria Guayo, who averages 16 a game. She's got 5. She did hit a tray, her only bucket in the second quarter, so she's well below her average. And the freshman Jordan Sapien, she hit a tray in the first quarter, had 2 free throws in the second. She has 5 as well. Caitlin Calderon, 2 for 4 on the line. She's got 2 points. And also Olivia White, who came off the bench, the freshman post player, has 3 points. So only 4 players have scored in the first half for the Spartans. They have turned the ball over 9 times, as I mentioned just a second ago, and have 15 rebounds. Larissa Washington with 5, and Victoria Guayo with 4 to lead the Spartans. They are 5 of 8 from the charity stripe at 62%. That's a big discrepancy there, too. Only 8 free throw attempts for Pebble Hills, 17 for Hobbs, and that's because Hobbs is getting some second and third opportunities on the rebounds.
And because of the size difference, a lot of times you end up helpless in those positions, and all you can do is reach and grab. You can't quite get up to the ball.
Lady Eagles have 7 scores so far. Kendall Cunningham, actually Anaya Joseph the leader with 9 points. She's 1 of 2 from the line and has 3 rebounds. Kendall Cunningham close behind with 8 points. She's 2 for 4 for the charity stripe with 4 rebounds. Brett Clay working on that double-double with 7 points. Also has 12 rebounds, but having a little bit of issues on the free throw line. Of 1 of 5 from the charity stripe at this point. So you add those free throws, she would be at double digits at this point in time in the double-double, but I'm sure she'll get back in shooting form there as we get back in the third quarter. Jayla David doing a great job coming off the bench, as you mentioned, freshman Poe. She's got 5 points and is 1 of 2 for the charity stripe. A couple of players with 2 points apiece. Carolina Sias with a 2 for 2 free throw shooting. Nakia Mojica came off the bench for a bucket for 2 points. And Erilyn Hall went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point. Lady Eagles, as we mentioned, were out rebounding Pebble Hills here at the half, 27-15. Clay with 12, 4 for Cunningham, and 3 for Joseph. Hobbs shooting 8 of 17 from the charity stripe, 47% from that line. And Hobbs outscored Pebble Hills 21-7 in that second quarter, so a couple of touchdown difference on that.
And, you know, that was, I think, a big key and a factor as well. But, you know, plain and simple, you can tell Pebble Hills is not as deep. They're tired and they're not as tall. That's the keys right here. And you see the energy level drop for them, the point production drop. I mean, the first quarter it was 13-8, and you end up 34-15 in the second. So they only put up 7 points in that second quarter. And you can see that it just kind of sucked the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, to try to get back in the rebounding game, if you're going up against a bigger team like Pebble Hills is against the Lady Eagles, you just got to, every time your team shoots the ball, you got to go to the hole quickly to get the rebound. You can't wait because size is going to win if that's the case. You just got to get your feet there first.
And the only way to nullify size is with outside shooting. You have the outside shooting and you start making it. You don't have those problems, but they're not making their threes as well. About 2 minutes left on the clock here, and we'll be back in those 2 minutes for second half action. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5, YouTube.com, and HobbsAmerica.com.
You're clear.
2 minutes, please.
Okay. You have 30. You have 10. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. 34-15, your score. Lady Eagles are beating the Pebble Hills Lady Spartans, and at second half keys, I think Spartans are going to have to find some way to get up and down the court to nullify the size. The only way to do that is to use speed and get into fast breaks. Can they do that against the Lady Eagles?
They do have some guards that can take care of the perimeter, and they have some kids that like to penetrate, but like you mentioned earlier, they're kind of losing some of that gas out there and kind of having to get rested to get back to the other end to play some defense too. So it's kind of tough to make the decision, where do I put my energy at, whether running around the perimeter, trying to slice it in the hole, down in the paint or whatever. But you have some big post players, and then we mentioned Brett Clay is another one too. Doesn't have the most size out there, but at the same time, she uses her body to make up for that.
Yeah, and she's down there going against girls her own size for once instead of people that are taller. And I think it's made a big difference. It shows you how athletic Brett Clay is.
We have another game coming up tonight, of course, Coach. The Hobbs boys will be taking on Piedra Vista, a team out of Farmington. That's going to be on our sister station, 95.7, so we'll make a quick switch after this game to go to the boys' action. That'll be the nightcap game here at Task Arena, so lots of cool games coming up, and, of course, Tuesday and Wednesday as well.
And here's the inbounds, working right side is Valdez. Valdez is going to immediately throw it away, turnover, stolen away by Brett Clay. Erlen Hall comes across the timeline. Hargroves re-enter the game after having to sit with the foul trouble. Hargrove around to pick from Cunningham. Works around to pick the second time, middle of the zone, floats it up with the right hand, no good, but rebounded by Joseph, and she's going to put that off the glass for two.
Now 11 points. She leads both teams with double-digit scoring, those 3 rebounds as well. Definitely somebody you like to have in the paint, being a mainstay for you.
And she is just so efficient in doing it. Breaks the timeline, comes across, shoots up. That's Washington. Saved by Calderon, but saved out of bounds. So that'll be Lady Eagles basketball on the turnover.
Well, they have their biggest lead of the game now at 21. It was kind of hard to expect that, especially how this game started, Coach. Nip and tuck through that first quarter.
And, I'm looking at, for a second there, I lost Sapien. I didn't know if she was on the floor anywhere, but she is out there. Here's Hargrove working against the zone. Hargrove gets trapped in the near corner, looking for help. He's going to have to flip it to Hall. Hall to Cunningham. She wants a 3. Cunningham off the iron. Clay with another rebound. Clay goes into Joseph. Joseph, middle of the lane. Fade away. No good. Ball's loose. Out of bounds. That'll be Lady Spartan basketball.
Yeah, then she almost steamrolled over the top of Caitlin Calderon that time. Very surprised she didn't get a foul call because almost an accordion on the floor there.
It looks like the Lady Eagles are bringing a little bit more pressure here. Left side Calderon. Back right side Washington. Washington. Crossover dribble, hands it to Valdez. Valdez, top of the key. Valdez working against Hargrove. Hands it back to Washington on the weave. Here's Sapien. Sapien flips it in the corner. Arguello misses. Arguello rebounded by Joseph. Hands it to Hargrove, and here comes the Lady Eagles. Hall right side wing extended into Joseph. Joseph back out to Hargrove. She's going to shoot a floater in the lane. She's got it. Hargrove with another 2. It's 38-15. Sapien with the left hand crossover at the H, working against Hall. Sapien's going to drive, kicks it out. Right side Valdez, long 3, no good. Arguello with the rebound. Arguello has it deflected. She goes back up, and Cunningham's going to get her body into her. And that'll put our Arguello on the line to shoot 2.
Another problem that Pebble Hills is having is some errant three-point shots and not getting in position for the rebounds. It's kind of cost them. That time, Arguello kind of gets in there and gets the rebound and gets a foul, but it hasn't happened a lot on the last few drives.
And that's the thing about three-point shooting is Arguello makes the first. If you have good three-point shooters and you're making those shots from the outside, it negates a lot of the size because now they have to extend the defense out to guard you.
Pebble Hills shooting 6 of 9 from the charity stripe.
Make that 7 of 10 as Arguello makes the second one, cutting the lead to 38-17.
She leads the Spartans now with 7 points.
Hargrove throws it right into the arms of the defender. She ends up saving it out of bounds, but she steps on the line. Turnover there for the Lady Eagles.
Both teams now with 10 turnovers, and Coach Carpenter wants to talk to his squad for a second.
Yeah, got a little bit lackadaisical. We'll take a break here, too. 5:44 on the clock. It's 38-17. Lady Eagles lead.
You're clear.
30, please.
Okay. You have 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. It is 38-17. Lady Eagles lead. Lady Eagles back on defense, waiting for Pebble Hills to bring it in.
Kind of wonder what the timeout was all about there. I think he just wants to get things calmed down, not get the turnovers, or what?
Yeah, I mean, you're playing sloppy. You're dribbling into double teams. Yeah, they need to get their heads back in the game again. Here's Calderon, flips it out right side Valdez. Valdez working against Cunningham. Puts the body into Cunningham as she shoots, no call. Across the timeline, here's Hargrove. Hargrove spins it to Joseph. Joseph looking for help. One dribble, steps up, and she gets a little bit of a late call, but she gets called for a walk, and she kind of skips around there, shuffling her feet.
Yeah, the official on the right baseline was just kind of waiting to see what more motion she was going to make, but he said, I think that's enough of a movement of the foot there.
Here's Sapien across the timeline into the corner, Valdez. Valdez, crossover, dribble, has it blocked by Joseph. Rebounded by Cunningham. Here's Hargrove across the timeline. Hargrove in trouble into the triple team. Tries to dribble between the triple team and goes off of a Pebble Hills defender. You cannot split triple teams and double teams with a dribble.
And she tried to dribble behind her back there, too, which is even more tricky, and that came off in a ricochet. Luckily, it came off a few of those burnt orange jerseys for Pebble Hills.
And Nakia Mojica comes in. That's exactly what coach is telling her. It's the sidelines. Mojica throws it away on the inbounds. Here's Arguello. Arguello goes up with the right-handed layup, and it's good.
Boy, she got bodied all the way to the hole. They didn't call the foul on Nakia Mojica. She dodged a bullet on that one.
Here's Joseph across the timeline, attacking middle of the zone. Clay, right side wing, looking for help. Has Cunningham. Goes back to Clay. Clay with the right hand off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound, knocks it to Hall. Hall with the right hand shot. Short jumper is good from 12.
That's her third point and third rebound for Erilyn Hall.
40-19, 21-point lead. Here's Aguayo. Has it blocked by Joseph. Joseph ahead to Mojica. Mojica with a left-handed layup, no good. Rebounded by Joseph. She's going off the glass. She's got it.
Boy, she went crashing hard on that one, put her whole body high up in the air and went right to the glass with it. That's her 13th point and 6th rebound. She's working on a double-double.
Off the break. They break the press, and they get a layup out of it. It goes into the hands of Calderon, who slashes in with the right hand.
Hobbs doubling up now on Pebble Hills.
42-21 your score. Steal stolen back by Hobbs. Hall right side throws it to Clay, who has to save it in the hands of Arguello. And Arguello ends up losing it out of bounds.
Starting to see a lot of pinballing going on for both teams and just kind of get their nerves settled down a bit. But Hobbs has a nice cushion at 21 points.
They do. Very sloppy play for both teams against each other's press. Here's Joseph's going to hand to Hall. Hall with the left hand, crossover, back over to Clay. Clay to Joseph. Joseph spins, looking for some room. Pushes off. They're going to get her. She shoved her with the right elbow.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that from a mile away as she took a big step and that elbow came jabbing out, and you could hear the El Paso fans pretty excited about that one.
Cross-court pass. It's going to cross the timeline. Arguello with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Joseph. Joseph gets manhandled underneath, and the fans are just letting them hear it. Referee underneath that doesn't make the call has to get help from a referee to make the call that he was closest to.
They're going to give it back to Pebble Hills and said she just lost it out of bounds. That was the 7th rebound for Anaya Joseph, and she took a wallop in there.
Yeah, 3 girls smacking her around. Here's Washington. Hands it right side Calderon. She misses. Clay gets the rebound. There's a scrum for it on the ground. They're going to call a jump ball. This will go to Lady Eagles. But another rebound for Brett Clay.
Yeah, Brett was going through 2 defenders that time, and kind of like a bowling ball went knocked 2 pins down flat on the ground, and she still was in the middle of the scrum pulling that ball away.
Clay's going to take a seat in the game, becomes Brent Hargrove. Mojica ahead to Joseph. Joseph backdoors it to Mojica, 2-on-1 to David. David off the glass with the right hand is good. That's how you break a press.
Yeah, Jayla David coming off the bench for 7 points in this game, her first bucket here in the third.
Here's Calderon, looks back door to Arguello, not there. She throws it in the stands, turnover Pebble Hills.
Yeah, Coach Lee not a happy camper after that. He thought the ball was way overthrown, a helium pass there, the 12th turnover for the Spartans. Also matching the biggest lead for Hobbs in this third quarter, 23 points, 44-21.
Inbound to Joseph. Joseph makes a long pass to Mojica. She has to track it down. Gives it back to Joseph. Joseph has it stolen away from behind. Off to the races. Here comes Pebble Hills. And with the left-handed layup is Crystal Talavera, the freshman.
That's her first bucket of the game. Now Pebble Hills with 5 scores in the books.
Hargrove in trouble. Finds Hall. Hall, backdoor pass to Mojica. They need to get it across the timeline. They're running out. They do so. Here comes Hargrove. Hargrove flips it over to Hall. Now they're setting up. Hargrove over to David. David, she's going to shuffle her feet. She gets called for the walk.
Kind of a ball fake that time, and I think her arms got so far extended in front of her that it kind of made her feet jump forward too, and the official right behind her on that far sideline. That's 15 Hobbs Eagle turnovers, 12 for Pebble Hills.
44-23 your score. Pebble Hills across the timeline on the press. Here's Calderon, has it slapped away from behind, right side to Bunting, and Bunting's going to dribble off the foot of, it's off of her foot, Lady Eagles basketball.
Yeah, guards at both ends aren't taking care of the basketball. That's the 13th turnover now for Pebble Hills, one of those unforced errors, and just not taking a good dribble where you needed to on that one on that near sideline.
Hall to inbound, working against the press. Hall having trouble, and they're going to have to get it in there. They don't. 5-second call, pressure causing a turnover there.
Hobbs fans screaming at their own Lady Eagles because nobody came back to get the help on that inbound.
Long three here from Pebble Hills, no good. Rebounded by Hall. Off to the races. Hall looking ahead. Crossover dribble at the timeline. Backdoor, Mojica. Mojica throws it to David. David throws it off the glass. Kendall Cunningham erases the miss and puts it back for 2.
Cunningham's starting to work on a double-double, 10 points and 6 rebounds for the freshman.
Sapien across the line to Talavera. Talavera attacking zone. Kicks it out to Bunting. Bunting in trouble. Kicks it over to Washington. They flip it to Sapien. Sapien, NBA 3, no good. Bounces around.
Hits that top extension cord up there on the backboard.
Yeah. And here comes the sub for the Pebble Hill squad.
Yeah, Sapien only has 5 points in this game. We mentioned in the pregame show against Carlsbad, she was the top scorer with 14. And that victory, a 15-point win over the Cave Girls, 63-48 just about a week ago. A team they scored 9 3-pointers against versus Carlsbad.
Here's Hargrove across the timeline, broke the press. Hargrove pushes off, they got her.
They thought maybe that I thought they were going to call a travel that time. She kind of slid on the floor, but they're going to say she pushed first, lost her balance, and then slid.
Yeah, she lost her balance, but shoved the defender off. I kind of could see that from up here. City Guerrero brings it into Sapien. Sapien across the timeline. Sapien, short jumper. She's going to get hit from behind. That'll be a foul on Bren Hargrove, and Sapien will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, she's racked up 4 fouls now, 4 team fouls against the Lady Eagles. I'm sure she's going to have to be taking a bench time here in just a second. And it looks like Coach Carpenter is going to bring in a sub. And there was no reason for that foul. The girl had already beat her to that right elbow and was starting to shoot.
Yeah, I just don't think she can control her body because Sapien looked like she stopped on a dime. And Sapien misses the first free throw.
She's 2 for 3 from the charity stripe, has 5 points. Leader right now for the Spartans is Victoria Aguayo, these seniors with 9. Lady Eagles have 13 for Joseph, 10 for Cunningham.
Rebound on the miss by Jayla David, hands it to Clay. Clay spins around. She gets around Guerrero. Right side check, that's not Clay, that's Hall. Hall's going to be fouled from behind. I think this may go against White.
Yeah, she got pushed in the back. Her mask got ripped down underneath her chin that time, and they get that foul call against, actually going to put it against Guerrero instead. Her second. That's only the first team foul against Pebble Hills in the second half.
Inbound to David, hands it back to Mojica. Mojica drives the lane, left-handed scoop up, no good. But she is fouled by Sapien, and Mojica will go to the line to shoot 2.
Mojica, just another freshman out there for the Lady Eagles. Good first step, kind of reverse lab, coming right lane over to the left side and scooping it back up. Is able to get that slap job by Sapien for her second team foul for the Spartans.
First one's up, and it's good for Mojica.
Her first free throw of the contest has 3 points.
$1:11 left here on the clock. Third period action. It's 47-23 Lady Eagles.
Mahika came in one of the best free throw shooters on the team at 83%, so definitely going to continue adding on with those free throw opportunities she gets in this one.
Yep, she's done a good job. Right hand's the second one up, and she's got it. Nothing but net.
She's got 4 points now, 2 for 2 on the line. Biggest lead of the game, too, at 25.
Working against the press. Here comes the Lady Spartans. Across the timelines, Valdez hands it to Washington. Washington to Guerrero. City Guerrero backs it out. Hands it to Washington, right side. Washington skip dribbles, tries to find White, cutting. Ball's loose on the floor, and they're going to get a jump ball as the scrum ensues.
Hobbs doing the extended 2-3 zone now as they bring up those two front guards up top and really pushing, extending them back, and again, that causing some problems underneath.
Here's the inbound, top of the key to Washington. Right side, Valdez. She's going to spin around. Dribble goes up and under. Foul on the Lady Eagles, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Boy, she hasn't played much in this game. She was a starter, but that was a nice little weave move as she goes on that right baseline, headed towards the middle of the paint, and drew the foul. That's going to be on Cunningham, her third personal, and the 15th foul.
So Valdez at the line with the right hand, shoots the first one and misses.
And Valdez, as a starter, is yet to score in this game. Still now 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. She's trying to get herself in the book and shooting at 81% this season from the charity stripe.
Second one's up, bounces around, no good as well. Cunningham knocks the rebound, but she has to try to save it out of bounds, and she can't quite control it, and that'll be Lady Spartans basketball.
Hobbs up 48-23, their biggest lead at 25 with 40 seconds left here in the third.
Here's Valdez going to have it blocked by Cunningham. Ball's loose, Guerrero has it. They're going to call a jump ball. That'll be Lady Eagles basketball as Cunningham ties up Guerrero.
Starting to think it's a little bit testy now in the paint, little physicality going on here. A lot of people pushing and shoving to get those balls, and a lot of jumps we've had in this third quarter.
Here's the inbound. David goes to Mojica. Check that, that's Clay. Clay backdoors it to Cunningham, to Clay. Top of the key, Mojica, or Hall, long three. Hall's got it.
That's the second tray of the ball game for the Lady Eagles. Of course, they had 10 in that win against Lubbock Trinity just last Tuesday night.
Valdez right side working against the extended 2-3. David comes out to help. They skip it top of the key. They got Talavera. Talavera spins around, back around the back. Left side, Guerrero. Guerrero, she's going to throw up a wild three at the buzzer. No good. 51-23 your score. Lady Eagles lead. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Lady Eagles basketball on YouTube.com, HobbsAmerica.com, and Eagle 100.5.
Clear.
1 minute, please.
Okay. You have 30. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, 51-23. The Lady Eagles are beating the Lady Spartans of Pebble Hills, El Paso. And both teams kind of a sloppy third quarter, but Lady Eagles extend the lead.
Yeah, they outscored them 17-8 in that third. All single-digit scoring through the three quarters for Pebble Hills. Top scores for Hobbs, Anaya Joseph with 13 points, 7 rebounds. Kendall Cunningham, 10 points, 6 boards. And Brett Clay, 7 points and 13 rebounds. Nobody close, actually one close to double digits, Victoria Aguayo with 9 for Pebble Hills.
Right off the bat, here comes Valdez from the right wing for 3. And that cuts into the lead. It's 51-26.
Where's she been all this game? Just barely got in here in late third and now into the fourth.
Joseph to Cunningham, backdoor looking for Clay, loses it, and Valdez comes away with a steal. Off and running, here comes Pebble Hills, and Arguello gets the 2. Nobody back on defense.
Finally somebody in double scoring now, 11 points for Arguello, the senior.
Here's Clay, 18-footer, no good. Rebound loose. Arguello has it. Arguello up the court, checked by Hall. Hands to Sapien. Sapien crossover. Sapien, middle of the lane, looks for help. Nothing there. Floats. Fires. Good.
I'd expect Coach Carver to get a timeout here. He's got both hands on his hips as Sapien now with 7 points.
And leads down to 19. Across the timeline, Hall tosses it to Joseph. Joseph looks for help. Nothing doing. Everybody just kind of standing around right now. Left side goes to Clay. Clay to Joseph. Joseph looking for Cunningham. Joseph, short jumper off the glass, straight away, and it's good.
Yeah, Caitlin Calderon backed away from her, made her pay for it, 53-30 Hobbs.
Baseball pass to Arguello, no good. She misses the jumper, and here comes Bren Hargrove. Hargrove playing with 4 fouls. Hargrove around to pick from Cunningham, loses it, picks it up. Now she's double team being chased. Comes around the back, and Sapien steals it from behind. Here's Sapien, backdoor. Arguello's got it. 53-22, or 53-32.
Victoria Arguello now with 13 points. Hobbs with 19 turnovers, a bunch of them coming in this fourth quarter.
Hargrove across the timeline to Joseph, backdoor Clay. Clay spins, fires, no good. Cunningham with the rebound, flips it to Clay. Clay gets foul going up, and Clay, they're going to say it's a jump ball. Oh, my.
That's her 14th rebound for the Lady Eagles, so Clay's still working on that double-double with 7 points as well. And a little bit of time left to get that number if she can. 5:56 left with a 21-point lead.
And here's Joseph on the inbounds, no good. Hall knocks it out of bounds. That'll be Pebble Hills basketball. 5:52 showing on the clock, fourth quarter action. This one's not over yet. Lady Eagles need to find a way to put them away. Here's Calderon. Calderon crossover, and she's going to get a foul. I think she drew this one from Brett Clay.
Of course, trying to go against the big girls in the paint. Pebble Hills has to do whatever they can to try to move it through those tall trees as they get Anaya Joseph with her second. That's a 16 foul against the Lady Eagles. 6-2 foul count so far in favor of Pebble Hills.
Yeah, second half's gone the other way. Here's Calderon at the line. Right hand's up, no good.
That's her first free throw attempt since the first quarter. She was 2 for 4 there, now is 2 for 5, shooting 40% from the charity stripe.
Calderon's second opportunity. Spins the ball up to the right hand. Squats, fires, and it's good. 53-33, it's a 20-point lead. Inbound to, it goes to Clay. Clay flips it to Joseph. Joseph didn't like how close she was guarded, stuck her elbow in the face of the defender and pushed her off and got called for the foul.
That'll give it back to Pebble Hills on their right baseline underneath their hoop. That'll also count as a turnover, number 20 for Hobbs. Even though the fans here at Tasker didn't like the call, at least the black and gold faithful here in the stands.
Yeah, I was surprised she didn't get a technical for that, to be honest. Here's the inbound to Sapien. Sapien working against the attacking zone. Right side, long shot, Valdez, no good. Rebounded by Joseph. She's off to the races. Mojica. Sapien knocks it out of bounds. Lady Eagles having a hard time keeping the ball in their hands.
Hobbs has a couple of the posts in there now. Of course, Jayla David out on the court, the freshman, 5'10". Again, you loved that situation. You said in the pregame show having a lot of these posts interchangeable in the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where they're at right now. And Cunningham plays a nice three. She can shoot the rock. Cunningham misses the jumper from the free throw, spins, fires, and one of them helicopter shots, as you say. Ball's loose. Rebound goes into Hargrove's hand, but there's a foul on the floor.
It looked kind of like Cunningham might have crashed into somebody. I'm not sure they got her on. Yes, they do, number 22, and I don't think she realized it until the official pointed at her, and now they're going to walk the other way. That'll be her fourth personal.
And we're shooting 1-and-1 here.
That's the 18th foul against the Lady Eagles. But you got to give some credit for the board work for Hobbs so far. A lot of girls stepping up big. Of course, Clay with 14 rebounds, 8 for Anaya Joseph, and 7 for Kendall Cunningham. So those three really working hard on that glass at both ends.
Unfortunately, at this point, it looks like there's Pebble Hills is trying to make a run.
Cunningham's going to take a seat, and checking in for her for the Lady Eagles. Who just came in here? Is that Leilani Clay, I believe? I think it looks like 42. They don't have the numbers are very light. Actually, no, that was Jayla Davis.
Yeah. Very difficult to see with the inlaid numbers sometimes. First free throw's up and good.
4 for 7 on the line. Caitlin Calderon, she's had 2 free throws here in the fourth, 6 points overall.
Second free throw, right hands it, and she's got the second one.
53-35, Hobbs up by 18 with 5:14 left here in the fourth quarter. Opening round of the Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament at Tasker.
Here's Mojica, 18-footer, no good. Air ball, out of bounds, and very sloppy fourth quarter here for the Lady Eagles, and Pebble Hill's trying to climb back in it.
Hobbs going to go with some trap pressure here with the 2 up front, 2-2-1 as they extend it up.
Sapien across the timeline with the left hand. Flips it over to Bunton. Bunton tries to bounce past to Washington and throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, almost took out the knees of the official on the near sideline. That's the 14th turnover for the Spartans.
I wouldn't get on his bad side. He's giving you an 8-2 ratio here. Here's the across the timeline is Mojica. Mojica looking underneath, nothing there, working the right side. Here's Joseph. Joseph, jumper, middle of the lane, has it blocked. They're going to call a foul. They're going to say they got into Joseph's arm.
Caitlin Calderon, after she got the foul call, was kind of pogo sticking on her top of her toes there as she didn't like the call, but not going to change the official on the lobby there.
Nah, I don't see very many players ever win an argument with the official.
Joseph 1 for 2 on the line with 15 points and 8 rebounds.
First opportunities in and out.
So she needs two more rebounds to get the double-double on the night. Brett Clay with those 14 rebounds and 7 points, getting close as well. And Cunningham, 10 points and 7 rebounds.
Second opportunity for Joseph's good. 54-35 is your score.
16 now for Nia Joseph.
4:39 on the clock, fourth period. Sapien to Calderon. Calderon, nice pump fake, drives, floater, no good. Rebounded by Bryn Hargrove. Hargrove around the back. And it seems like every time she goes around the back against pressure, she loses it.
Yeah, I know. They've been putting a lot of guard pressure on her, 2 or 3 at some points, and going triple teams. And sometimes you just got to put on the brakes and look for your teammates.
Here's Clay, spins, she's going to drive. Clay backs it out, looks for Joseph underneath. Joseph, turnaround jumper, in and out, ball's loose. She gets her own rebound, puts it up off the iron, no good. Gets another rebound, kicks it out to Mojica, who's got to reset the offense.
Joseph now at the double-double after those 2 boards, 16 points and 10 boards.
And they're going to end up getting a reach on Washington as she's kind of getting into Mojica there.
So that'll be Washington's first 4th-team foul. So still well away from the bonus. And a sub coming in for Pebble Hills, Crystal Talavera, as she checks in for Sapien.
A lot of quick guards for this Pebble Hills team.
Yep, and a lot of them are freshmen, so they have a few more years to play for Coach Lee.
That's an east side school, El Paso, where El Paso's kind of growing out on Montana Avenue. Here's a right-handed Joseph off the glass, gets her own rebound, goes back up, and she'll get free throws here if she's fouled.
Yeah, she's looking for a triple-double now if she can, but right now at 16 points and 11 rebounds, so definitely battling on the board still, even with a 19-point lead.
Joseph at the line, right hands it in and out. She gets another opportunity though.
She's 2 for 5 from the charity stripe, 40% on the line, and sub will be coming back on for the Spartans. That's Olivia White, the freshman, as she checks in for Caitlin Calderon, who exits with 7 points. White with 3 right now.
Here's Joseph on the second one, holds that hand up there as she swishes it through. 55-35, and time's kind of running out for the Pebble Hill squad. Lady Eagles holding on here. Washington floats it. Here's White. White has it blocked, and they're going to call a foul on that. White stuck it into the hands of Clay. Clay smacked at it, but looked like she got ball, but they're going to get her.
So that's going to be on Clay, her first personal, first of the game, and 19th foul. 1 away from the double bonus, but still a 2-shot foul for White.
Right-handed up, White up, in and out as she misses the first.
She's 1 of 3 from the line at 33%. Winner of this game will play again tomorrow night, 6:30 against Tucson, live here at Tasker Arena.
It's a very good Tucson squad. They're 11-2 on the year. Joseph with the rebound after the second miss, hands it to Hargrove. Skips it through the pressure over to Mojica across the timeline. Here's the double team. They flip it to Joseph back. Mojica with a bridged layup there and misses. Ball's loose. Joseph ends up with it. They're going to tie her up, and that'll be Pebble Hills basketball. Lady Spartans get it.
13th rebound for Joseph. David got her 4th board as well. And Hobbs still holding on to that 20-point lead with 3:25 left here in the opening round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament.
Only scored 4 points so far here in the 4th quarter. Here's Washington working against Mojica. Skips it, right side, Arguello. Breaks down the double team. Arguello's going to get fouled. Somebody pushed her.
Yeah, it looks like she got tripped from behind. Jayla David double teaming that time. The 2 post players along with Joseph. And from behind, the freshman kind of steps on her ankle there.
So that'll put her at the line to shoot 2 here. And they're shooting 2 from here on out because it's 10 fouls. Misses the first.
Guayo, who's on the line currently, averaging 16 a game throughout their previous contests, 17 games they've played so far. But tonight with 13, so she's below her average. And, yeah, 17 games already under their belts. Of course, a lot of these Texas schools get it well ahead of the New Mexico squads in terms of game production.
Puts the second one in. That cuts the lead 55-36. Inbound, having trouble. They find Cunningham. Cunningham back to Joseph. Over to Hargrove. Hargrove spins around with a crossover, comes across the timeline, gets a pick from Joseph. Being checked by Bunting, works at the H. In trouble. We're going to start counting time here in a minute. And they're going to get a foul on the play to get into Hargrove. And that'll go against the Lady Spartans.
Hobbs just 1 away now from the single 1-on-1 bonus. That is the 6th against Pebble Hills. They're going to charge that one to Crystal Talavera, her 2nd.
Yeah, backdoor pass to Jayla David on the inbound. She's got it. That's an easy basket for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, the freshman now with 9 points coming off the bench, also 4 rebounds.
Right side, here's Arguello. Arguello, crossover dribble, skips it to Washington. Long NBA 3 from Washington, no good. Cunningham fighting for the rebound. It's going to be stolen away by Talavera. Talavera hands it over to Washington. She's going to drive on another foul. And these fans are getting tired of this.
They thought she might have traveled a bit, fell forward, but referee on the baseline said she got tripped. And that will be a charged foul to Joseph, her 4th, 11th team foul. I'll put the little guard on the line to shoot some free throws.
Makes the first one.
So Washington gets in the scorebook, her first point of the ball game. She's worked a lot of hard plays around the perimeter, but that's her first chance to put some points in. She does have 5 rebounds, only 5'3" though, so having to make up the size disadvantage for her with the speed and getting around that perimeter.
Washington's second opportunity. Right hands it up and in.
Clock stop with 2:30 left here in the 4th. The Eagles up by the double-digit lead of 19, 57-38.
Erin Nala enters the game for the first time for the Lady Spartans. Here comes Hargrove working against Nala. Goes to Joseph. Joseph to Hall. Kind of burning some time off the clock here. They close out Hall. Hall throws it to Joseph, almost loses it. Joseph, backdoor pass to David. Easy layup and an assist for Joseph.
David now at double digits. She's got 11 points. A freshman trying to tell coach, I need to be a starter on this squad.
Here's Talavera working against the pressure. Gives it to White. White spins around, backdoor. Washington. Washington throws one up. Rebounded by Joseph. Joseph's going to kick it out. Looks for Hargrove. Hargrove across the timeline. Hall near side. Hall, right hand is the 3. No good. Ball's loose. Joseph's got it. She goes up. Foul called. Joseph goes to the line to shoot 2.
Rebound number 15 for Anaya Joseph. Also 17 points. Having a big day, or night, I should say, in the paint. You can expect that as the tallest player for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. But at the same time, I mean, you know, there's a lot of quick guards and players for Pebble Hills that come under your feet and get in your way a lot. So she's got to jump pretty quickly to get some of those
I've got
boards.
to correct you on that. Jayla David's 5'10",
Oh, you're right.
and Kendall Cunningham is 6 foot.
You're true. I mean, I'm not sure about those numbers, how accurate, but they look pretty close there on the court.
Yeah. 59-38, 1:40 on the clock.
Missed the first free throw. She'll get one more here.
Second one's up and in. 60-38, your score now.
18 points for Joseph and those 15 rebounds.
Leilani Clay into the game for the Lady Eagles. Here's Nala bringing the ball up the court. Crossover dribble from her. Tries to split defenders, kicks it out. Goes to the corner looking for a player not to be named on the roster. Number 5 inbounding. I apologize, we don't have that name.
That wasn't even in the scorebook. We got the scorebook sent up to us before the game started from the official table there, and I didn't see that number on it. Unless they had to change a jersey because of blood or something.
Yeah, maybe so. Not sure. Here's a long jumper from Sophia Holguin.
Three-pointer right through the net.
Hadn't seen her all night. She comes in and hits her first shot.
Another freshman. That kind of a chest shot that time, but I don't know how she got enough rainbow on it to get it through.
Right side, here's David. David with a nice move. She scoops and scores.
Hey, there's a freshman for the Lady Eagles with 6 points in this fourth quarter, 13 overall for the Lady Eagles cause.
City Guerrero over to the player to be named later. Back to Guerrero. Guerrero, crossover dribble. She floats one back door. Looking for Nala. It's not there.
That's the 15th turnover for Pebble Hills. That ball sails out on the baseline, right over to their bench behind the bucket. Hobbs up by 21 here with 45 remaining in the fourth.
Across the timeline. It goes to Clay. Clay to Torres. Torres off the glass. Got it. Araceli Torres. 64-41. We're now officially in garbage time. Nala over to the player to be named later. Top of the key to Guerrero. Back over left wing. Guerrero right side. Tries to flip it in. Stolen away by Torres. Torres throws it ahead. Right-handed layup. Up and good. As into the books goes Ciandra Rodriguez. Her first shot of the game. 10
players have scored for Hobbs here as we get towards the end.
And that'll be it. 66-41, your final. Lady Eagles will win this one. We'll be back in just a moment with the postgame show. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagles basketball, Eagle 100.5, YouTube.com, and HobbsAmerica.com.
You're clear.
Two minutes, please.
Okay. Yes, sir. Ten. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Your final score, 66-41. The Lady Eagles topping the Pebble Hills Lady Spartans. And we got abbreviated post-game show. Apologize for doing it so quickly. We got the boys game coming up shortly on our sister station. And Ty, let's just get really quick, get through the stats, and then we'll get to the boys game.
Pebble Hills getting one double-digit score. Victoria Guayo, the senior, 14 points, 6 rebounds. And she was also 3 for 4 from the charity stripe, hit 1 tray in the ball game. Behind her, Caitlin Calderon was 7 points. She had a ton of free throw opportunities and was 5 of 8 from the line. Also with 7, Jordan Sapien, the freshman, went 2 for 4 for the charity stripe, also hit a tray. 3 apiece for Kiana Valdez and Olivia White coming off the bench, and 2 apiece for Crystal Talavera and Larissa Washington. The Spartans were 13 of 24 for the charity stripe for 54% and had 16 turnovers in this ball game. Their top rebounder was Victoria Guayo with 6 and 5 for Larissa Washington. For your Hobbs Lady Eagles, you mentioned a lot of scores in this ball game. 10 total for Hobbs, and 3 of those in double digits. Anaya Joseph with an official double-double, 18 points, 15 rebounds, and was 4 of 8 from the charity stripe. So doing a lot of stuff for Hobbs, scoring and rebounding for the Lady Eagles. Jayla David, the freshman, coming off the bench for 13 points, 4 rebounds, and was 1 of 2 from the line. Kendall Cunningham finished with 10 points and 7 rebounds. She shot 2 for 4 from the charity stripe, so those are your 3 double-digit scores. Right behind them was Brett Clay with 7 points and 14 rebounds in the contest. Was 1 of 5 from the line. 6 points for Erilyn Hall with 4 rebounds, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. And she had the only 3-point shot converted for the Lady Eagles in this ball game. Lots of players getting 2 points apiece, including Bryn Hargrove with 2 rebounds. Carolina Saez, 2 for 2 on the line for 2. Araceli Torres and Sandra Rodriguez both getting a bucket for 2 points. Lady Eagles went 13 of 25 from the line for 52%. We mentioned a lot of rebounders in this game. 50 boards for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, 15 for Joseph, 14 for Brett Clay, and 7 for Kendall Cunningham to lead the cause. Hobbs with 20 turnovers. So they had a few more than what Pebble Beach, there we go, you won the bet. Pebble Beach, I knew I was going to be the one to fumble on that one. 20-16 turnover ratio. Hobbs with 4 more than Pebble Hills, but with the victory by 25 points, I don't think you're going to sneeze at a few more turnovers than your opponent.
Yeah, at this point, I think Coach will address it. It was a sloppy game, and he knows that. It's not what he expects from his team. Something they're going to have to really kind of tune up on. They have a very good Tucson squad tomorrow coming in.
Yep, and that improves their record to 8-5 on the season, and they'll be back tomorrow night again, as you mentioned, a 6:30 start time right here on 100.5 The Eagle.
Absolutely. And it's time for the boys' basketball games. We're going to switch things over here. We do appreciate you listening today on 100.5 The Eagle at HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.com. And we're going to keep the feed going on the video feed. We're going to be using the same video feed for the second game, but we'll be switching over the radio feed. So appreciate you sticking
That's on
with
Cool
us.
95.7.
Absolutely. So for my right-hand man, Ty Friend, for our camera guru, Branson Coltrane, for Easy Back of the Station, this is the Coach Brian Coltrane. Good night. Evie, are you with us on the new line?
I got you.
Okay, let's check the phone. What phone number am I putting it on?
Cool.
Yeah, what phone number am I putting it on?
3930957.
Thank you.
I don't got you on tie line anymore.
It shows connected here.
You're good on both now.
Okay.
I'm blinking. Okay.
All right, there we go. Okie doke. I guess 8 minutes?
Let's get it down to 10. Yeah, 7.5.
7.5 minutes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Four minutes to go.
Thank you.
2 minutes to go. Minute to go. $30.
Hey, Evie,
Yes.
did you see my questions via text?
Considering this is TIFF, probably not.
Okay. We're wondering.
Give us another 30, please.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us more time. And we're wondering
Okay.
if the box cast is not switching over to the boys' side. Do we need to change the scoreboard? We don't know if it's switching over or not. They told us not to mess with the box cast, but right now we're still streaming on the girls.
I know that you're not supposed to touch the box cast, and then I think you just kind of switch the scoreboard through the score bug, but I'm not completely sure. I just know you're not supposed to touch the box cast.
Okay, just to let you know, the link has a boys' game on it saying it's going to start. But if we stream on the girls' game, they're not going to know to go to the girls' game to figure out the boys' game.
I will call TJ and I will let you know.
Thank you.
Got 30 seconds.
Thank you.
$15. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome live to Tasker Arena, the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, on YouTube, on the Hobbs Athletics page. Ty Friend along with Coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Eagles trying to get their second trophy in a row here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, as they'll take on Piedra Vista, team out of Farmington tonight. Coach, already have a big win for the Hobbs Lady Eagles just minutes ago as they thumped on the team out of El Paso, Pebble Hills. A final in that one was 66-41, so the Hobbs boys now want to make another W tonight.
Absolutely. And, we talked about the first game where height was a big difference. I think this is going to be the same kind of thing all over again. Looking at Piedra Vista, they have one 6'4" guy, and then the height kind of drops off from there. We have the 6'6" Aaron Mora, and we have quite a few other pretty tall guys on the team. I think that's going to be the factor here in the second game as well.
So Hobbs coming in with that 9-1 record, and they are excited to try to keep going on this record right now with only that one loss to Permian on the second week. I believe that was a game that you broadcast by yourself, wasn't it? The only loss of the I'm just messing with you, Coach. So
against a now ranked in the top 20 Texas team in Odessa Permian, who's last I checked their record, they were like 16-2.
Right, and of course always have a lot more games under their belt that part of the season. That was only the second game for the Eagles, a very close one at that. So regardless of that one blemish on the record, Hobbs has had to try to fight through some injuries. Michael Mackey has been down at some points. Aaron Moore has been down. The good news is for Hobbs, one guy that we didn't think might be playing this week, Jalen Gore, he had a wrist injury, sat out the Las Cruces games against Oregon Mountain and Mayfield last weekend. He is here tonight. He's a starting lineup guy. He leads the team in terms of three-point shots, 25 total he's converted this season. leads the team in assists, 3.6 a game, and steals, 3.3. So he's not just a one-man dynamic. He does a lot of different things for you. He will be starting tonight.
He does, and I tell you what's impressed me the most is his perimeter defense has improved so much over the last year. And he's really become a force on the perimeter, shutting down other teams' guards.
Eagles getting the win over Mayfield, the second game of the doubleheader Saturday, 80-76, a very close contest. Mayfield came back in the fourth quarter to make it very close. Hobbs shot 45% from the field in that game, but did convert on 6 3-pointers. A big game for Aaron Mora, finished with 26 points, 6 rebounds, one monster jam that he had. That was a pretty exciting one. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube from Saturday's game. It was a monster jam. That's the best way to describe it. Jesus Ramos finished with 24 points. So Ramos and Mora combining for 50 points. Also getting in there was Katre Morgan, who came in with 11 points in that victory and 7 rebounds. So a lot of guys stepping up for the Hobbs Eagles cause to get their 9th win of the season.
Yeah, I tell you what, the depth of this team is what's impressed me the most. When you can lose somebody like Jalen Gore and then not miss a beat on the court, that says a lot about the depth of this team.
One thing the Eagles have had a little issue with in a couple of games this season is letting teams come back in the fourth quarter. A couple of times Coach Reese has kind of put his hands up in the air, and he's even talked to me about it too, is he didn't know what happened, like during the headlights all of a sudden, even with a 15, 20-point lead, and letting teams whittle away that lead. That might not be as easy to do here in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament.
And getting into foul trouble, committing too many sloppy fouls, not moving your feet on defense, stuff like that. Late in games, that's kind of been our bane as well.
Well, Hobbs, the starters tonight, Michael Mackey, 11.4 points a contest. He's had to deal with some injuries as of late, but looks like he's ready to go in this one. Jesus Ramos, we mentioned the 20-plus that he had on the road game against Mayfield, 9.4 a contest. He's also second on the team with 7 3-pointers and rebounds at 3.3 a game. Jalen Gore, we mentioned 18.9 points a contest, close to 19. Leads in 3-pointers at 25, 3.6 assists, and 3.3 steals a game. Number 1 on the team in all those categories as well. Katre Morgan is one of those slasher types. Definitely like to have him in the paint going after the rebounds for you. He's averaging 6.7 points a game and also 6.5 rebounds, which is second best on the team. And again, a kid that is going to battle physically. He's going to get on the ground for you, diving for balls, and he's very tough and physical.
Yeah, he's one of those players that if you need some lightning in a bottle, he's going to capture it for you. He finds a way to use his energy just to help the team any way he can.
And then, of course, the post player for the Eagles, Aaron Mora, averaging 17.4 a game, second to Jalen Gore, and 9.3 rebounds, which is the best on the squad. And, of course, compared to last year, he's getting a lot more physical. He gets off his feet hard, and he goes up and likes to jam the ball as much as possible.
Yeah, anybody that likes to stuff it through, and it creates a buzz around the team when that happens, and you want that excitement. It gets everybody up anytime you have a jam like that.
Eagles shooting 45% this season from the field, 61% from the charity stripe, and 28% from three-point range. And Hobbs has really not just lived on the three-point line this year. I mean, years past, they had guys tanking them all over the place. But Jalen Gore and Ramos really the two guys that really converted on those. But Hobbs is starting to look at the post game with Aaron Mora and move the ball in transition, which they've always been known to do.
And, Mora can step outside and hit a three. He's not a one-dimensional player. I've seen him step outside and hit the long shot, handle the ball when he needs to. He's an all-around guy.
Piedra Vista, their opponent tonight. The Panthers sitting at 5-4. They've been tested so far at a couple of tournaments, the Cleveland Rio Rancho tournament, and then also a Colorado tournament as well. They got pummeled pretty hard by Cleveland in the semifinals of the Cleveland tournament, 76-24. The biggest problem for them was 28 turnovers, 15 of those in the second quarter.
And, I think that's something you're going to see this game. We're going to put that pressure on them as well.
National anthem getting ready here at Task Arena, the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament coming back in 90 seconds, live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7.
You're clear.
30. $15. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back live at Task Arena, the 62nd annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. The Eagles have won 38 times out of the 62 they've played, and they've actually played in 53 of the championship games. That tells you the history of this fine tournament. As Eagles are coming onto the court, you can hear the marching band, or should we say the Taskervich band here. Exciting getting them ready to go as they get their souvenir balls ready to throw out to the crowd. Right before the break, we were talking about the team that the Eagles are playing tonight. Piedra Vista at 5-4. Lost to Cleveland in the semifinals of the Cleveland tournament. 28 turnovers for this squad, 15 in the second quarter. So they really had some major issues at keeping track of the basketball. But of course, Cleveland, a very tough team that was at the tournament the year before last. Lost to El Dorado in the third place game, 64-39. Top scorer was Axel Ramos with 11 points, John DeKay with 9. And El Dorado pretty much took the game away in the fourth quarter, outscoring Piedra Vista 24-9. At that Colorado tournament, they went 1-2, lost to Pueblo County by 25, to Cannon City by 10, and also to a team out of Colorado Springs, Mitchell High School, beat them by 10. So that was their only win at the tournament. Since then, they beat Bayfield, Colorado by 13 and defeated Shiprock 59-40. That was a 19-point victory, although most of the scoring coming in the second half for them, where they outscored Shiprock 33-12. That was definitely the turnaround for them. So 5-4 record, but they're playing very far away from home. Farmington, a major road trip. Of course, the Eagles are the team that's mostly traveled if you compare it with other schools, but this is a big road trip for them.
And I hate to get you off a subject, but I'm really curious about something. The Hobbs Eagles came out on the floor carrying a number 54 jersey. They basically brought out a jersey for somebody, and they put it on the bench with the same goodies that they throw in the stands, and it's not somebody in there. So I'm kind of curious about that, but I'm wondering who they're honoring. I'm not sure if you know the story.
So the Eagles get ready for their starting announcements here as they're getting ready to play Piedra Vista. We'll get you the starters of the Panthers in this game. Randall Begay, he is a senior guard. Nathan Heidke, a senior guard as well. Axel Ramos, you just mentioned him, one of their top scorers, one of their forwards. Derek Pierce, another guard, a senior, and John DeKay, a senior forward. Those are the 5 starters. Their tallest guy is Paul Brown. He is a junior. He's on the bench, though, 6'4". They got a couple other guys. Axel Ramos at 6'3". He will be starting in this one. Benjamin Hoff coming off the bench at 6'2", and John DeKay, one of their starters, at 6'1". So they have a little bit of size out there, Coach, but the Eagles like to run teams that have size.
Yeah, they do, and we still outsize them even with the size that they carry. We still outsize them, and we do like to run anyway. It's going to be an interesting game to see how Piedra Vista will adjust to playing this style of basketball.
And, Coach, how exciting is that? I mean, this Hobbs Eagle program has played in 53 of the 62 championships of this tournament and have won 38 of them. I mean, that's a pretty big number.
And history don't lie, and it tells you something right there about the strength of this program through the years and more so the strength of dominating at home.
The Eagles already know, hopefully, if they win this one, who they will be playing. El Paso Montwood, of course, one of the schools you're familiar with, being from El Paso. Montwood defeated Pewaukee from New Mexico 75-48 in the first round. So that was a pretty big win for Montwood, and that'll be playing the winner of this game between Hobbs and Piedra Vista.
Well, Montwood was a team that we faced to open up the season with, and we beat them 67-24. So we're very familiar with what Montwood brings to the table.
Aaron Mora's going to have to take off some jewelry. I'm not sure what he had on. He hands over to Coach Reeves on the baseline, and now has to take a half-court run back to the jump as he'll go up against Axel Ramos, who is 6'3". Aaron Mora at 6'6", a 3-inch differential here. Tip into the front court, but it goes to Piedra Vista, to Nathan Heidke. Throws it down to the right corner. Backing into the baseline is John DeKay. Fadeaway jumper off the back of the rim. Rebound for the Eagles. Quickly the transition pass, Jesus Ramos, but sails it out of bounds on the far sideline of the front court for the first turnover.
And there you go, trying to get up the court quickly. Shows that we're going to really try to use our speed today.
Piedra Vista, the Panthers, wearing the blue and white, and the Hobbs Eagles, the white home uniforms. Coming across the timeline after pass, underneath one, down low, laying it in for two on the right glass is Ramos for his first bucket, and the score 2-0 Piedra Vista. Into the front court, left wing is Gore. He'll hold it against a 2-3 zone. Puts it up top to Ramos. Swings over to the right side to Mackey. Bounce pass back door, and there's a shot for Moore. Leads and shoots over two defenders and scores. He might have got hammered on that one, but able to get through the defenders on that.
That was all strength. He had no problem going up over somebody.
Trap pressure is Morgan in the backcourt, playing along with Jalen Gore. Dribbling on the far sideline is Begay. He'll bounce it across the side to Heidke to the right corner. Three on the way for Decay, and nails the tray to put it through. And already a timeout for Coach Reeves. He does not want to see his team give up those outside perimeter shots. They now trail 5-2 to the visiting Panthers.
And he is absolutely lighting into the starters for their efforts out there. They were not shifting on defense very quickly. They left him open for a three. He's letting them know that this is not the type of basketball we want to see.
Can you get more diverse in the geography of these two teams? Of course, Farmington up there in the northwest of the state. We're down here in the southeast. Both teams pretty big on oil, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But there is, I think, one team that came further in the state of New Mexico. I believe Shiprock, playing on the girls' side,
true.
is even further away. They're at the Utah border.
That is true. Of course, a couple El Paso teams in the mix as well. And that's just down the road, about 3.5, 4 hours, depending on how fast you drive, Coach, right?
Yeah, probably about 2 hours.
Coming across the timeline after the timeout, Gore unloads to the left wing. To Van Landingham, down low to Moore, but it's knocked out of his hands, picked off by Derek Pierce. Already two Hobbs Eagle turnovers. They trail 5-2. A high ball over the near sideline and goes over the head of Nathan Heidke, but punched out in the midair by Michael Mackey right to the Taskovich band. It'll go back to Piedra Vista.
Mackey laying out his body on that play.
The inbound on the near side, up to the top of the circle to Decay. He's going to fire for three. An air ball actually hits the bottom of the backboard, but pulled down on the base on the timeline by Derek Pierce. Top of the circle. Sends it to the left wing to Heidke. Dribbles to the timeline. Cross court right over to Pierce. Dump it down low. Ball loose in the paint. Tracked down on the left baseline by Ramos. Bad pass up the near sideline, but it's going to be touched by Piedra Vista. I thought it might have gone off Jalen Gore, but it gets fumbled off of the Piedra Vista player, Pierce.
Gore threw it off of Pierce.
That'll be one turnover now for the Panthers. A three at the other end, top of the arc, off the back of the rim, NBA distance by Gore, and a rebound on the baseline, but fumbling around with his feet and getting a travel is Piedra Vista's Randall Begay. He gets a rebound, but then turns it over for the second time for the Panthers.
I was really impressed with Gore having the peace of mind to throw it off of somebody falling out of bounds.
Van Landingham gets it into the right block, put up and blocked by Morgan. Gets it up again, is rejected this second time. This time fouled as it pushed it on him was Axel Ramos. Kind of a fadeaway look for Morgan.
It looks like we're having a big advantage on the boards right now already.
Pierce with his first team foul against Piedra Vista, and that will put Morgan on the line to shoot the two free throws. Morgan comes into the contest shooting 45% from the charity stripe and hits the first one off the back of the rim. I should have shut my mouth.
Yeah, something you got to work on. Got to get better at free throws.
Hobbs 61% on the season before that free throw as a team. Down by 3, 5-2. Second shot for Morgan, bouncing around the rim and good. He's 1 of 2. Eagles down by 2, 5-3. Trap pressure, 1-2-2, full court for the Eagles. Up the near sideline, a pass to Pierce. Gets it across to Tegay, near side. Cross court right to Pierce. He's trying to dribble away from the pressure of Van Landingham. Hands off on the far side. Stop and go dribble for Begay to the right corner. He'll hand it off to Decay. Decay kicks it up top, but falling on the floor. Finally picked up by Begay, though, to save it for Piedra Vista. Over to left wing to Decay. Drives the lane. Stripped by Morgan. Turnover number 3. Sends it ahead to the left baseline for the shot for Gore. 15-footer off the back of the rim. Ball sails to the free throw line after the ricochet, and Ramos comes up with it. Throws it across the timeline. Far wing to Heidke, right side. Stop and go. Goes to the rack. Scoop shot off the glass and scores. He got a foul from behind by Gore with a quick first step for Heidke. Makes Gore pay for it and the foul.
And Heidke did a good job of sealing him off on that play. Got his body around him and then took the 2 steps and extended away from him.
Both teams with 1 foul apiece. A lot of subbing for Coach Reeves as coming in now Tyler Box as he'll come in for the Eagles starter. I believe that was Gore that'll to exit the game. Free throw up and good for Heidke. He's got 3. It's now 8-3. Biggest lead for Piedra Vista is 5 here in the first quarter. 5:31 remaining. Actually, Gore stays in the game. Trey Morgan is off now, and Ronnie Ross is checked in. Aaron Moore is still on the court, and Box gets the pass up top. Sends it over to left wing to Gore. He's going to move this 2-1-2 shifting zone now make it a 1-2-2. Top of the circle. One hand's over to Box on the right wing. Touch pass to Van Landingham in the right corner. Returns it back to Box. Swing it left side. Here's Gore with an NBA three. Clinks off the front of the rim. Tipped up in the air. Pulled down by Moore on the left baseline. Goes up strong with a double clutch. Ball ricochets off the iron. And a rebound on the right baseline by Decay. Sends it ahead to the other baseline. Going from right to left on the radio dial. Tyler Box gets the ball thrown off his leg, and it goes out of bounds. They're going to take it from the far sideline for Piedra Vista.
Derek Pierce running that down for Piedra Vista, throwing it off a Box.
Ball's bounced into Heideke. He'll take it back to the timeline, far side, top of the circle. Gives it left wing to Pierce. Touch pass off to Decay on the left as well, guarded by Mora. Sends it down the left block. Hook shot on the way for Ramos off the left glass. Rolls in for two. So Ramos with his 4th point of the ball game and a 7-point biggest lead for this Piedra Vista squad. Into the front court comes the Eagles. Jalen Gore over to Box on the left wing. Crossover to the far sideline. Uses up his dribble. Bounce pass left elbow to Ross. Drives the lane, reverse right. Ball stays on the rim for a second. Rolls off. Rebound underneath by Van Landingham. Goes back up on the fade on the right block. No good. Mora goes back up on the left side, and he's fouled. Got hit in the head. A lot of second opportunities and third opportunities for the Eagles. This time some free throws coming out of it.
I'll tell you what, we actually are the ones that look sluggish, not the team that traveled across New Mexico.
Mora for the season at 50% from the charity stripe. Trying to get back to a 5-point deficit here, down by 7. First shot is high, in and out, no good. But he'll get one more. Eagles 1 of 3 from the charity stripe so far for 33%. 10-3 the score. Eagles down by 7.
Not something we would have guessed at the start of this game.
As Mora will get one more. Second one's up and good. He's got 3 points. Eagles down by 6, 10-4. Piedra Vista at 5-4 on the season. Eagles at 9-1. 1-2-2, full court trap for the Eagles. Inbound to the near side to Heideke. Back deep, a sub just checking in, Devin Pierce. As he'll dribble to the far side, give it off to Decay. Back deep to Pierce, and it's stolen away by Box. He'll take it to the rack with a little finger roll on the right. Misses off the front of the rim. Van Landingham comes down with it under his bicep left arm. We got a foul. They might have called Van Landingham for bodying into him. Of course, he does play football, too.
Yeah, Van Landingham kind of wrapped up behind him. Gave him a bear hug, and he got called for it.
So 10-4, still 6-point lead for Piedra Vista with 4:04 left here in the first quarter. As Van Landingham will exit, and checking in for him, returning the starter, Michael Mackey. Mackey gets a piece of the inbound, comes down the lane with it, lost the ball. Ronnie Ross is having to track it down on the near side, goes back door to Mora. He leans up high off the glass and puts it through.
Much
Mora.
better that time on that possession, moving the ball around.
Mora has 5 of the Hobbs Eagles 6 points in this game, down 10-6 with 3:45 left first quarter. In the backcourt, getting trapped is Decay. Goes it down the left part of the lane. Leaning and shooting is Paul Brown, rejected by Box. Box will take the dribble up the near sideline. Cross court left to Jalen Gore. Wide open for a tray, left wing, in and out, no good. Hand on it for the save for Hobb, but saves it to the near sideline. I think they're going to give it. No, the referee changes the call. First he pointed for Piedra Vista, but got the 6th man up in the crowd to change his mind on that one.
Yeah, he realized at the moment he's still going to wait. That's the wrong direction. Let's flip it.
So Box will inbound on the near side. Little chuckle from the referee on that one. Puts it up top to Ramos. Back to Box, right wing, NBA 3, and swish it through the Rainbow J for Mr. Box.
Showed a lot of range on that one, way out beyond the three-point arc.
Each team has a tray apiece, 10-9. Eagles down by 1, 3:15 left first quarter. In the backcourt, coming across with the dribble, Decay, stop and go, taking Ross onto the far side. Ross almost took a dive, but he's back on his feet. Up top to Heideke, drives the lane, runs over Box, and I believe they're going to say he got a knee on him that time, kind of threw it out in the lane and picked off Heideke from behind. I don't think he was shooting, so we'll be on the baseline.
They actually got Mackey trailing, trying to go for the steal from behind.
I think Box had a piece of him as well, but I guess they got the first one first. Inbound.
Lots of pushing there. Both teams are getting physical.
Heideke inbound to the left corner, and as soon as you said that, Coach, they do get an off-ball foul, a push. They're going to say Derek Pierce shoved off on Morgan that time. His second personal, second team foul. Actually, both teams with 3. Let me update that.
I don't think the pace is something Pedro Vista likes very much.
Passing to Ronnie Ross, left elbow, fadeaway J off the back of the rim, pulled down underneath by Pierce. Outlet to the far side, then to the midcourt to Decay. He'll bring it across against Morgan. 2:45 left opening quarter. Piedra Vista by 1, 10-9.